This show is clean.
Howdy!
Pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 760. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth, located somewhere in PodCastro Valley, California. Today, Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley, plus it's the return of Into an Interview, where I speak with TAYLOR Cole Bartholomew of the Austin, Texas band COURRIER. Plus, Facebook and Yelp today have gotten a little less conservative. Mike's Daily Podcast. And I don't know that much about the financial world or derivatives. Mike's Daily Podcast. And I feel a little bit smaller than most people because of that fact. Hey, on the last show, the disgruntled fiddle player, yes, he was back. He was holding up a sign saying that Scotland's gonna rise again because he's a southerner and he commiserates with them. And, you know, that's what we are in Mike's Daily Podcast at on, off, prepositions. Mike's. I was at a loss. Daily for words. Podcast. And I think that just about sums up everything. Oh, the continuing story of what is going on with that winery in PodCastro Valley. But look who just walked in.
Hello, my gosh, this is Madame Rootabega, and yes, I love the wines that they have in PodCastro Valley.
Ooh. And why is that?
Because it is so full of alcohol. You drink a little bit and you smash.
Now, why did you have to underlie your point by throwing your glass on the ground as soon as you said that?
Because I like dramatic effect.
Uh-huh. Look who else just walked in.
Oh, day, Mike, this is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Guys, do you think that throwing glasses on the ground for dramatic effect, that's appropriate?
No, I think that's a terrible idea. The greatest show ever on television, The Rockford Files, never did that.
Yeah, that was the best show ever with James Gannon. Do you know that?
See, you just did it right. So yeah, there's this winery in PodCastro Valley that I've spoken about before, and how a local labor board closed them down because they were employing people. They were having people work for them but not paying for them. They had volunteers that were pouring wine. And because the labor board came in and said, you cannot do this, and you violated a rule by doing this, so now you must pay $100,000 to us. Now, that has forced the winery to close down. Well, in my local paper, the Castro Valley Forum, there has been an ongoing letter writing campaign. And in fact, last week, one of the people from the labor board defended the actions of closing down the winery, which I guess I kind of did too. I don't agree with this volunteer stuff for a winery. I can understand like a nonprofit that's doing a good cause, that's helping people, but I mean, come on, it's wine. You should be paying your employees. I have worked for organizations, you know, I got into radio and they made us do we interned, did all this work for free. It was stupid. They still do that, of course, all over radio, television. People on Wall Street working for free just so they can get their foot in the door at some big hedge fund. Anywho, one of the people that runs this winery wrote into the local paper, Castro Valley Forum, and talked about the labor board person that arrived, a woman, and he says that that's all wrong, that in fact this person did come in and create a scene from the labor board. When she arrived, it says, at our winery and jumped out of her car, she started taking pictures of our customers and asking them what they were doing. One of our customers is a retired policeman and showed them his badge. The other customer raised his hands in the air and told them he was just a customer. Both left without buying any wine. Mr. Melton, I guess he's the guy from the Labor Department who defended himself, also claims that laws against volunteering are well known. That is simply not true. Over 600 persons who have signed petitions to change the law had no idea of these laws. Numerous wine writers, lawyers, and even politicians were not aware of the laws. against volunteers at wineries, says this person from a winery. And let's hear it for wine. I mean, it goes with meals, and it gets you a little buzz. So, yeah, this is what they say from this winery. I don't know. It's a big controversy here. And if that's our biggest controversy in PodCastro Valley, then I'll take it. And I'll also take the rain. We had a little rain today. I walked outside. Everything was wet. It was so nice, Madame Rootabega.
Michael Masho, I hate rain. It makes everything wet. Cars.
What?
Cars. They hydrofoil smash into each other. It's terrible. Ooh.
Dramatic effect. That we're running out of glassware.
Sorry, Michael Masho.
At any rate, that's something that's going on. Don't really know how to transition from that into this. But Facebook and Yelp are dropping out of the American Legislative Exchange Council, or ALEC. Named, of course, for the wonderful Alec Baldwin. No? Alec Guinness? Obi-Wan Kenobi? Whatever. Adding to the list of technology companies departing the political group that backs limited government. Facebook, of course, located in Menlo Park, right there. When you cross the Dumbarton Bridge, you see it right there, and it's so weird. It's like, that's Facebook. It controls the entire earth, and it's right there. So weird when I drive by it. And people getting out of their cars and getting their pictures taken in front of, they have a big thumb. That's actually, the like sign on your Facebook. It's that thumb sign, but it's pointing the opposite direction. It's like reversed. No, not to mean that you don't like it, the other way. So I'm not going to open up Facebook and try and figure out what I'm saying. But at any rate, there it is. People get their picture taken in front of it. I have done it too. And Facebook, I guess, doesn't really want people to do it, so they don't really give them an area to park. And it's sort of impossible to park there and get your picture taken in front of the thumb. But Facebook said it would probably follow Google and Microsoft in leaving ALEC at the end of the year after being unable to resolve differences over key issues. The company said in a statement, "It seems unlikely that we will make sufficient progress, so we are not likely to renew our membership in 2015. This according to businessweek.com. Yelp, which operates a website where users can rate, of course, restaurants, bars, and other places that you go to, and then realize that, people like this place, but it's actually crap. Luther Lowe, he is their Director of Government Affairs. He says that Yelp has departed the group that it joined last year. ALEC has been criticized for working to overturn state mandates for renewable energy and has recommended legislation calling for researching the benefits of climate change and the economic risks of carbon dioxide caps. It faced scrutiny for supporting stand your ground laws after the shooting death of unarmed teenager Trayvon Martin by security guard George Zimmerman, who was later acquitted of the murder. Then Common Cause, which says it advocates for open government, and the Center for Media and Democracy have pressed companies to leave ALEC over its promotion of conservative causes and closed-door meetings with lawmakers and company lobbyists to develop legislation. The Center for Media and Democracy operates an ALEC-exposed website that says more than 80 companies so far have left the group. ALEC, co-founded by conservative icon Paul Weyrich. It's an interesting name for a conservative icon. Why are you conservative? Why? Because I'm rich. So Paul Weyrich, he co-founded it 4 decades ago, and he brings businesses and state legislators together to discuss model legislation on subjects ranging from renewable energy to net neutrality. It's based in Arlington, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C., and it says it supports free market solutions rather than government regulations to problems, including climate change. Now, Bill Meyerling, a spokesman for the ALEC group, said in an interview that a lot of San Francisco-based and Silicon Valley-based tech companies share similar policy goals. It's not unlikely that if one goes, another will go, as much as it pains me to say that. It's really unfortunate that these companies are going to be missing out on conversations with 25% of legislators in the country. According to businessweek.com, Yelp joined ALEC originally to develop legislation to make it harder to bring lawsuits against people who post reviews online. Ah, that's so nice of Yelp. Ooh, and there's going to be, I found this story that I'm going to bring to you very soon about how Yelp has been doing some really crazy stuff lately. You know, when you go on Yelp, the stuff that you see on Yelp is really, it's slanted, the stuff. They are showing you, it depends on how much advertising certain people on Yelp will put on there. I've got a Yelp page, and I can't even get into the Yelp page to like make any changes. It's still showing an old website. I have the MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com website now. It's still showing the old podcast.blog.com website, and they won't let me change it, even though I own Mike's Daily Podcast. So they do some weird stuff. At any rate, what do you think about this whole thing and about how I say at any rate a lot? And about this winery that can't get their story told about how they were treated by this labor board and how they should really not be making people work for them for nothing. All that stuff. You can tell me what you think and comment. Email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. We read your comments on the section emails from email. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. There's also the website, mikesdailypodcast.com, which you can't find on Yelp. And it has links to where to find us on iTunes. Subscribe to the show in iTunes. You can comment on the show there and rank it. If you do that, more people find out about us. There's also the link to where to find us on Facebook. Like the Facebook page. When I post a new show, share it with your friends, and more people will find out about us that way too. Another great way to support the show is the Amazon deal of the day. Click on that and buy something at a great discount, and that helps us out. And also then bookmark that page through the MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com website. And whenever you buy something on Amazon, go through that, and that helps us out. Although we haven't seen any of it yet. So I guess that's because no one's clicking on it. We'll see. If someone finally clicks on it, maybe we'll get a dime. I can't wait. There's also links to where to find us, of course, on Yelp, as I mentioned, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spreaker, Mixcloud, Podomatic, Tumblr, and Twitter. And check out the blog, the Daily Podcast Picture, and all my past interviews are there at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Into an interview.
Hello.
Hello, Taylor.
Hey, is this Mike?
This is Mike from Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Sorry about the wait. The Windows update thingy was taking forever.
Gotta go Mac, man.
Once you go Mac, you don't go back.
This is true.
But yes, you're right. And I bet you do a lot of stuff. So I'm talking to TAYLOR Cole Bartholomew of the band COURRIER.
Hi.
He does synths. He's a vocalist, a bassist. What else do you do?
Gosh, I mean, you pretty much covered. I mean, I do like all around sound design and production, stuff like that. So, you know, I'm a big part of the songwriting process. And COURRIER, you know, we're all songwriters. So, you know, we just kind of are all jacks of all trades. And
you're writing songs right now?
Yeah, literally, I just walked out the door of our studio. Philip and Austin are in there right now. Nathan, our drummer, had to go do some family stuff. But, yeah, we're kind of writing some new material right now in our cave.
and it's the songwriting cave, so that magic happens when you walk into the cave. Yes, that's where all the magic happens. Yeah, it's actually it's my studio behind my house. I have like a back house, and we've got a bunch of recording equipment back there, and it's where we rehearse. And so we just go in there and sit around the piano and work on songs until they're right. Sometimes more successfully than others. That's amazing. And what kind of feeling is it when it all comes together?
Well, it's interesting because every record I feel like has been a different sort of process, and we're constantly refining our creative process, and it's it's really hard. I mean, we've been working on some new material. We've got about 50 songs right now that are kind of like in